Welcome to a kind of spontaneous video that I'm not doing from home, as you can see, but at the moment, well, not at the moment that you're watching the video, but at the moment that I was recording this video, which is way before the moment that you are watching it, you get what I mean. I am in Quedlinburg, which is a cutesy little medieval town in the middle of Germany. Now, I am here on a bike trip and I stopped through here and I didn't really had any intention of making a video. But in the end, I simply want to show you the medievaliness of this town because it just blew me away. And I'm just going to show you a little bit around the city. The town of Quedlinburg is more than 1,000 years old. There's still over 1,300 old timber-framed buildings standing here, from which the oldest ones are from around 1400, so 600 years old. And even though most medieval cities at some point suffered from hazardous fires that set the city ablaze, Quedlinburg never burned down, obviously. And even though major parts of Germany were destroyed in World War II, still this remains one of the last really kind of medievalish places in Germany, which is fascinating. It pretty much doesn't matter where you go in the city because you always encounter like these cutesy little houses built in a half-timber style. And there are different buildings from all over the time. So we start at around 1400 with early Romantic, and we end in, or pretty much we continue with Gothic, pretty much up until the 1700s, where they stopped building the half-timbered houses. And as I said, pretty much everywhere you go, there is these kinds of buildings. Now there's not only half-timbered houses here, but also some quite impressive buildings that are made out of solid stone, and this shows the diversity of the town. We don't only have half-timbered houses, as I said, and not only from one period, but also from many different kind of structural periods, but also like these remainders. In the distance you can see the castle that we are going to go to, but also what you can notice, or what you will notice, is that everywhere around the city, even if it's only in a few or like small spots, there are small rivers going through it to simply provide, well, a water source to the whole city, which is also something I mentioned in a previous video, that it's very important to have a water source around a city. Well, here we are at the base of the castle, and weirdly enough, this castle is a kind of combination between, of course, the residence for the lords that, of course, changed during the course of time, but also there's a cathedral or church up there, which we can't see from right here, but we will see it later. And something happened during the course of time, which I regularly preach in my videos, which is that right here, the first houses emerged around this sandstone mountain with a castle on top, which is normal for medieval times, since a castle would always offer a kind of protection to the whole region. So people would be drawn to building their houses here. And something that also can be seen, or pretty much it can't be seen, but it is fact, that these houses down here, which are astonishing, were all built as a residential space for the clerics of the castle on top, so that they wouldn't have such a long way. Weirdly enough, being on top of the castle, or in the castle right now, it pretty much looks, or well, it gives the impression of still being in a city and not like the typical castle that you would imagine with big walls and, well, fancy buildings inside and stuff. But this has a pretty villagey or towny character to it. And as you can see, the cathedral isn't that big, but, well, just take into consideration that we are standing on top of a mountain which watches, or as you can see here, all across the landscape. So this is pretty fascinating, even though it is something that probably rarely anybody will build in Minecraft. Narrow alleys were also something very, very common in medieval times, and therefore in medieval cities. Of course, there were also wider alleys, but some of them were just, well, tiny. Narrow alley. And another narrow alley. 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 Allon. Alley. Narrow alley. One thing I realized here is that there are so many churches around. So before, my rule was kind of, you can almost never have enough towers. I guess I'm going to, you can almost never have enough churches. Well, and that is pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this, at least a little tiny fraction of how I enjoyed it. Of course, being live here is a lot different than just seeing it through a video, through a particularly shaky video. But in the end, I hope you learned something, at least a little tiny bit, to improve your building. And, well, with that, well, first of all, I would like you to just tell me in the comments what your favorite medieval place is. Maybe I come across it once, and then maybe I'll do a video about that. Who knows? So with that, there's, I guess, nothing left to say for me. But I've been Madness64, and as always, please rate, comment, subscribe, join the crew, become a mate today, you will, and hopefully see you next time. Bye-bye. But look at the kitty. Look at it. Cats are also very medieval since they kept rats away, so it was always a good thing to have a cat around. Also, the internet loves cats. So pretty much by showing you this cat in this video, I should get like at least 15 gazillion views. Don't do that in front of the... Dude.